Okay, so I decided to make an NFL iceberg of a team, and since I am a Miami Dolphins fan, I decided to make one of the Miami Dolphins. So here's the iceberg of Miami Dolphins. Tier 1, 1985 Bears game. The Dolphins were the only team to beat the 1985 Bears. 1982 Chargers game. The 1982 Chargers game is considered one of the best Dolphins games, something I definitely agree with. The Chargers played a really great game that day too, as well. As a Dolphins fan, I gotta say that. Super Bowl 8. Dolphins won against the Vikings at Super Bowl 8, 24-7. Larry Zonko was MVP. Miracle Miami. In 2018, Kenyon Drake got a touchdown against the Patriots at the end of the game. The Dolphins won. Orange jersey. Sometimes the Dolphins wear an orange jersey. It's a reference to Miami Hurricanes. Patriots, Jets, and Bills. The Patriots, Jets, and Bills are the Dolphins' division rivals. 1966. 1966 was the year the Dolphins first played. 1971 Chiefs game. 1971 Dolphins-Chiefs games is the longest NFL game. 17-0. 1972 Super Bowl 7, the Dolphins were the only team to go undefeated in NFL. Jake Scott was the MVP of Super Bowl 7. 2 injury Bengals. On September 29, 2022, Tua was injured at the Bengals game. He suffered a concussion. Teddy Bridgewater and Skylar Thompson were the quarterbacks when he was out for injury. October 23, Tua came back at the game against the Steelers. Dan Marino 1984 season. Dan Marino had a really great year in 1984. However, the Dolphins lost Super Bowl 19 in 1985. Mascot. The Dolphins' old mascot was Flipper. The Dolphins' new mascot is TD. 1-15. In 2007, the Dolphins went 1-15 and only scored one game against the Ravens. But thankfully, next year in 2008, they did much better. 2-2. Sea of Hands. The Sea of Hands game was a really great game between the Dolphins and Raiders in 1974. There are so many great stories from this game. Some footage of this is on the NFL's greatest games. 1993 Cowboys game. In 1993, the Dolphins won against the Cowboys on Thanksgiving. 1970, the Dolphins finally got a great record, 10-4. This was Don Shula's first time as Dolphins head coach. However, they lost the playoffs to the Raiders. Jimmy Cephalo, Super Bowl 17 touchdown. At Super Bowl 17, Jimmy Cephalo had a 76-yard touchdown. Bob Greasy, 1977, 6 touchdown passes. In 1977, at a game against the Cardinals, Bob Greasy threw 6 touchdown passes. Killer Bees. Killer Bees were Dolphins players in the 80s, with the last letter in their last name being B. Ricky Williams, 2004/2006. Ricky Williams was a great running back for the Dolphins from 2002 to 2010. However, he didn't play in 2004 and 2006. Jim Kick 1972 train card. In the NFL worst card list, Jim Kick's 1972 card is on the list. The card looks alright. I guess it's because of the placement of the card or Kick's hair. 1980 Patriots game, John Lennon announcement. 1980 Patriots Dolphins game, Howard Cosell announced that John Lennon died. Dolphin Denny. Denny Sim, aka Dolphin Denny, cheered for the Dolphins from 1966 to 2000. He was paid $50 to him for a game in 1976. At one point, he cheered while seated. Sadly, he passed away in 2007. Tier 3. Larry Zonka 1979 return. Larry Zonka was a great fullback for the Dolphins. He left the team in 1974 and he came back in 1979. When he returned in 1979, he had a great return. Freddie Solomon was on the Dolphins. Before Freddie Solomon was on the 49ers, he was on the Dolphins from 1975 to 1977. Joe Auer, first Dolphins touchdown. Auer was the first Dolphins player to get a touchdown for the team. Woohoo McDaniel was on the Dolphins. Before Woohoo McDaniel was a wrestler, he played for NFL teams, and the NFL team he played for was the Dolphins from 1966 to 1968. Logo changes. Dolphins have had some logo changes over the years. The new logo has some mixed reception for 2013. Tier 4. Mercury Morris addiction. Mercury Morris used to have an addiction and got arrested. However, now Mercury Morris does motivational speeches, which is great. 1972 Urban Legend. An urban legend about the 1972 Dolphins that when the last remaining undefeated NFL team loses its first game, the Dolphins celebrate. The NFL has made a joke about this legend on a Super Bowl 53 commercial with Larry Little, Larry Zonka, and Paul Warfield in the commercial. Gore in 1983. In 1983, while jogging through Arizona, Larry Gordon collapsed. He went to the hospital and died at age 28. Preseason with no logos. During preseason, the Miami Dolphins used to not wear logos on their helmets. Orange Bowl. From the first year of 1966 until 1986, 20 years later, the Dolphins play at the Orange Bowl. Then the Dolphins play at Joe Robbie Stadium after it, which is now called Hard Rock Stadium. It went by a lot of other names. The last game at Orange Bowl was against the Patriots on December 22nd, 1986. Blue or green? There are some people out there that think the Dolphins jersey is either blue or green, but it's actually an aqua color, which looks like both. Year 5. Larry Tunsil Twitter conspiracy. Larry Tunsil was selected by the Dolphins as the number 13th pick in 2016 due to a Twitter controversial video of him in the last one, 1999 Jaguars game. So in 1999, the Dolphins lost really badly to the Jaguars, which was Dan Marino's last year also. So watch my Miami Dolphins Iceberg.